The moment has arrived, guys. Project Scumbag is drawing to a close. What started as a simple dream to complete a personal GameCube collection has transformed into something far greater. This project has become a testament to dedication, a love letter to the gaming community, and proof of what can be achieved through shared passion and support. For 8 intense months, this journey has consumed me. Day and night, I've hunted for hidden treasures, driven by a relentless determination to make this dream a reality. We even crossed the channel twice to England, chasing deals and bringing back gems for both my collection and yours. Along the way, it became about more than just completing my set. It became about connecting with all of you. Whether it was offering rare PlayStation games at unbeatable prices or chatting with fellow collectors, every moment has been worth it. And now, as the final chapter unfolds, the question looms, has it all been worth it? The profits from our first convention, the joy of finding those elusive GameCube titles, and the smiles of everyone who walked away with a deal, these milestones suggest that it has. But before we reveal the final verdict, let's take a moment to reflect on this incredible journey and everything it has meant. It's time for a new project, guys, and we're gonna do it a little different from now on. We're still gonna pick up deals, picking up cheap deals, but I'm not gonna sell everything straight away to CEX anymore. I will build an inventory and try to sell everything myself for the highest price possible.
Welcome to Project Scumbag.
Voor jou. Top.
Ja,
15
hartelijk bedankt.
Yes, ook bedankt.
En veel.
80 euro.
Oh yeah, and maybe consider subscribing.
Kijk eens, 16.
Ja, top man. Hartstikke mooi.
Even kijken, 15 hè?
Ja. Helemaal goed. Super.
Sorry for the interruption, guys, but I want to break in quickly to explain why I call this Project Scumbag. Now, it strikes me that there are quite a few people who are getting upset when you flip games for a profit, or actually on anything that you got cheaply and then flip it for top dollar. Let alone if you also haggle to get it for even less money. Because be careful, otherwise they will call you a scumbag. Now, and I think that is just too funny, so that's why I call this Project Scumbag. Because let it be that my plan is now to no longer sell my acquired cheap deals to CEX anymore, but sell it all myself without the intervention of CEX. This way, I can snack up more profit. Now and then I already hear people say on YouTube, "Now that's really scummy. How can he harm the community like that?" Well, I said I'm gonna sell it all for top dollar, but that's actually not true. Now I'm starting this project to find out if I can sell my acquired deals below market value and still make more profit than what I would get by selling everything to CEX. So I will invest in deals that I will sell at game conventions at a later date.
Now, after sharing some background information about the purpose of this project and the origins of its name, it's time to reflect on my best discoveries from the past 8 months. One of the best finds came during King's Day. Project Scumbag had only just begun, and there it was, Mortal Kombat Mythologies for the PlayStation, just sitting there, and I only paid 10 euros for it. An absolutely incredible find. I decided to take this game with me to London to sell it at CEX. In this case, I chose to sell it there because I could immediately reinvest the profit in missing GameCube titles for my collection. Compared to the Netherlands, CEX in London had an abundance of these games, making it the perfect opportunity to fill those gaps in my library.
Yeah, it basically buffs the top layer of the disc and fills in any like bad scratches.
But selling this game, however, wasn't without its challenges. The first 2 CEX stores I visited refused to accept it, claiming the disc was too scratched. Oh wow. Sweet. After a thorough polish by a resurfacing machine, the disc was as good as new, and I was finally able to sell it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that one we cannot take it.
Now, and even after buffing the top layer of the disc, they didn't buy the game from me because of one tiny scratch. I think it was a bit of an exaggeration, but it's their right to refuse anything, so I guess we'll just have to try another CEX.
Yep. And I finally sold my Mortal Kombat game to CEX. That's amazing, man. Finally my King's Day fine paid off.
And then the second best thing I found during this journey. I call it the silver surprise. I decided to visit the local car boot sale. I spotted a sleek silver PlayStation 2 Slimline sitting in a dusty old basket. The guy told me that the PlayStation comes with a small LCD screen attached, but it looked unimpressive, dusty and dirty, like it had been dragged out of someone's attic this morning. Now I asked the elderly seller how much he wanted for it, and he said 10 euros. I hesitated. The screen to me looked like junk, and I figured the console was probably broken too. Still, 10 euros wasn't a huge gamble, so I handed him the money, shrugged it into my bag and carried it on browsing. Then, when I got home, I left the PlayStation 2 on the side for a while, half regretting the purchase. Later that evening, curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to plug it in. To my surprise, it powered up instantly. Even the LCD screen flickered to life, showing a crisp, clear display. I actually couldn't believe it. The whole setup worked perfectly. Intrigued, I did some research online. That's when I discovered the truth. This silver PlayStation 2 Slimline and its screen weren't just functional, they were rare. The LCD was an official accessory released in limited numbers and highly sought after by collectors. Together, they were worth hundreds of euros. I stared at the console in disbelief. What I'd almost dismissed as junk turned out to be a hidden gem. That day, I learned an important lesson. Sometimes treasure hides in the most unassuming places. Welcome guys to another exciting episode of Project Scumbag. In this special UK edition, we're embarking on a thrilling adventure across various CEX stores in the United Kingdom. Our mission? To hunt down elusive PlayStation 3 games that are notoriously hard to find or overpriced in the Netherlands. Armed with a meticulously curated list of around 100 PlayStation 3 games, we'll be scouring the shelves to find those hidden gems. The games on our list are either rare in the Dutch CEX stores or are significantly cheaper in the UK. This video is all about the thrill of the hunt and the joy of discovering those sought-after titles at great prices. So join us as we traverse the UK, hitting up CEX locations and sharing tips on game hunting, comparing prices, and of course, enjoying the journey. This is one of the games you see at every CEX in London, but at the moment at CEX Netherlands, they don't even have one in stock. Now, after months of scouring car boot sales across the country and 2 trips to England, both dedicated to hauling back games that were rare and unaffordable in the Netherlands, the moment had finally arrived. My collection had grown into something impressive. Shelves lined with classic titles, rare finds and sought-after gems.
Well, Project Scumbag continues here. We're basically in the finals because we're gonna sell our stuff that we found last 4 months.
But this wasn't just for me anymore. It was time to share it with the gaming community and hopefully make some sales. The venue was a bustling video game convention, my first ever as a vendor. I'd spent weeks preparing for this day, cleaning and testing games, pricing everything fairly, and carefully packing my best finds to display. The night before I loaded up the car, triple checking my inventory, and barely got a wink of sleep from the excitement and nerves. When I arrived at the convention early that morning, the energy was already electric. Rows of vendors were setting up their tables, the air filled with the clatter of boxes and chatter about games. My table was modest compared to some of the pros who had been doing this for years, but I arranged my stuff with care, retro consoles, stacks of rare games, and a few gems I'd find in England that I knew would catch the eye of the collectors. As the doors opened and the first wave of attendees flooded in, I felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Would anyone stop at my table? Would they appreciate the effort I put into finding these games? It didn't take long for my doubts to vanish. A collector spotted a rare UK exclusive game within minutes and couldn't believe his luck. "You brought this all the way from England?" he asked, his grin as wide as mine. Throughout the day, the stories flowed as much as the sales. A father shared memories of playing time splitters 2 with his son. A teenage girl lit up at finding an old Ratchet & Clank title, and a fellow vendor swapped tips on the best car boot sales in the UK. By the end of the day, I'd not only sold a good portion of my stock, but also connected with people who shared my passion for gaming history. As I packed up that evening, exhausted but happy, I realized this wasn't just about selling games. It was about the stories, the nostalgia, and the joy of finding something special. My first convention was more than a success. It was the start of something bigger.
In 5 minutes, the doors will open. See this queue, guys? It's pretty nice because we need some more profit for Project Scumbag to finish the GameCube set. Well, let's have a quick look around. It's in a party center, so there are rooms everywhere filled with stuff. .3D printed stuff.
Dat is mijn intro. Yeah, we have it over there.
Press start games.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Set. Okay, guys, and I'm tucked away here in this hall. Here on the end of the hall. Here are my tables. Here are my games. People can play some Mario Kart Double Dash again.
We got some big bangers over here. We still have Rule of Rose. The Grand Theft Auto 5, PlayStation 3 Super Slim. And over here, the Super Nintendo for 99 euros, including the game. Ain't that a great deal? And we have an N64, including the game, GameCube. Bunch of NES games. And some Super Nintendo N64 games. Some more NES games. Loads of PlayStation 3, Xbox, GameCube, Wii. Let's go. And now it's time for the final verdict. How much money did we spend and how much money did we manage to recoup? My total spendings on all the items has been 2,460 euros and 45 cents. This includes all the car boot sale pickups, marketplace pickups and the UK pickups. The total earnings till this far has been 2,367 euros and 50 cents. That means I'm short 92 euros and 95 cents to break even. Well, and for my travel expenses for a trip to the UK, I always try to keep this around 400 euros. 150 for the flight, 100 accommodation, 100 euros for a rental car, 50 euros for petrol. And depending on how many games I take back with me, this amount can easily be covered as long as I bring back enough video games. But of course, I haven't sold all the inquired items yet. I still have hundreds of games left in all these tubs. I added all those items up and it roughly comes down to about 4,000 euros that I still have in trade. Most important of all, I added a fair amount of GameCube games to the collection with some bangers between them. The big reason why this whole project started. We are currently 111 GameCube games away from a complete set, and we have enough trade to get these missing games together. But for now, I will have to bring all these leftover stuff to CEX and collect my money, because you know what? I'm done with it.
Oh no!
And that's it, my YouTube brothers. Project Scumbag has officially reached its end. What an incredible journey it's been. From late night hunts and road trips across countries to connecting with so many of you at conventions and online. This project has been so much more than just building a GameCube collection. It's been about the stories we've shared, the deals we've made, and the community we've built. I couldn't have done it without you. Every friend, collaborator, and fellow gamer who joined me along the way, thank you for being part of this adventure and for making it all worth it. So what's next? Well, this chapter might be closing, but the story doesn't end here. Stick around because there's always another project, another dream, and another journey on the horizon. Until then, keep playing, keep collecting, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys
On the next.